City, but Mayor Eric Adams, on the one hand, says crime is not out of control. On the other hand, he says the city can't protect people. Marianne Rafferty is live with more on why the mayor is playing both sides. Marianne, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Trace. Well, New York City's mayor says the numerous random acts of violence across that city does not mean the crime's out of control. Despite a week of violence in the city, which includes a man shoved to his death in the subway and women posting about being punched at random while just walking down the street. And the tragic shooting death of NYPD officer Jonathan Diller, allegedly at the hands of a convicted felon and repeat offender. The mayor pointing to recidivism and the need for better treatment for mental illness as causes for the citywide crime spike. Adams appeared on a radio show and got into a heated argument with a lawyer who seemed to be downplaying the seriousness of an officer killed in the line of duty. Listen.
In the same breath that you want to sensationalize, we want to highlight and point out, an officer was killed the other day, which is a rare occurrence across the United States, but let alone in New York. New York police officers have killed at least 7 people this year, including a 19-year-old. An NYPD officer killed a 19-year-old in Queens yesterday.
I'm not going to dismiss the loss of the life of an innocent person that wears a uniform to protect
But you
us.
do, of the 31 people dead at Rikers, and the 19-year-old killed yesterday.
To combat the sporadic violence in the subways, the city has posted National Guard troops and more police officers and is planning a pilot program for body scanners that can search for weapons. Adams saying a search for the best technology for that is underway right now, and he hopes to have them up and running in the next 90 days. Trace?
Marianne, thank you. Yeah, let's bring in former San Bernardino County Sheriff's Deputy Megan McCarthy and former FBI Special Agent, Fox News contributor Nicole Parker. Thank you both for coming on. I want to play specifically for Megan because you were a law enforcement officer who nearly lost their life by a criminal. This woke defense attorney you just saw, Nicole, you probably saw this too, saying, what's the big deal? A cop was killed. I mean, they killed 7 other people. Play it again, and then I'll get your response.
In the same breath that you want to sensationalize, we want to highlight and point out, an officer was killed the other day, which is a rare occurrence across the United States, but let alone in New York. New York police officers have killed at least 7 people this year.
I mean, the theme here, Megan, seems to be if you kill a police officer, meh. If you kill a criminal, well, you know what? Maybe it should be a 1-for-1 for trade. It's just an astounding thing for someone to say, and yet they say it.
This one hits way too close to home for me. I mean, I was nearly murdered by a criminal that had no regard for my life. Didn't matter that I was a parent. Jonathan Dillard's life mattered. And his widow and his child are sitting at home without him. And this lady who has no idea what it's like to be a police officer. There's a war raging against our cops right now. Every 23 hours in our country, a police officer is shot in the line of duty. So for her to say that we're sensationalizing a husband and a father being murdered, I would love to have her go on a ride-along and experience what our police officers are having to deal with. It's people like her with the George Soros, the George Gascon, these crazy ideas that are aiding and abetting in this war on our police officers.
Yeah.